Good evening, all. Pooja Chauhan, on behalf of Protsahan, and we are all here to discuss about a burning and one of the most negated topics in India, that is child abuse. Now, since we know that this month we are celebrating the Child Abuse Prevention Month, there are some facets of the topics that need to be spoken about. Now, we know that child abuse is one of the most heinous crimes that is designed and perpetuated against the most innocent section of the society, that is the children. Now, the WHO states that child abuse does not only include the sexual exploitation of a child, it is also any physical or mental harassment that is inflicted upon him that could impede his psyche. Now, keeping this in front of our viewers, I would like to take the views that each one of you all have. We have with us on the panel Dr. A.V. Shukla, Mr. Abhijit Lele, and Ms. Veenu Sharma. The discussion would start with Dr. A.V. Shukla's view regarding on child abuse. So, what would you want to say about this?
Well, my views on child abuse are broken down into three parts. One, I would like to say that first and foremost, if the society wishes to prevent child abuse of any type, the first thing that need to be done is, at least as far as India is concerned, we need to increase the about the various types of abuses that they could be going through, put through, or maybe made to go through. And in that case, the schools in the country need to take this up in a big way and include this probably as a part of the curriculum in the school, where the child is actually well informed about what could be the various ways in which he or she could suffer child abuse. The second thing, the second part of the awareness that the schools need to generate is that the child should then also know what recourse he or she has in case of an abuse that he or she might be facing. These recourses should be well known to them. They should have the trust that these recourses, if they use, they will not put these children into any further harm or any further damage. Recourses should be not only effective, they should be very quick also. So one, awareness about what is child abuse. Two, awareness about what a child can do in case of facing any type of child abuse. And three, when a child reports a child abuse case, the law and the legal enforcement of the country should be so stiff and so strong that immediate action should be taken and severe action should be taken. And I think as a society, we owe it to the next generation of our own society that we do these two, three things. This is my view about child abuse.
Sir, I would like to add on to this. I mean, sir, I believe that the parents or the teachers also over here, they are not properly well trained about how to deal with the child when he comes and complains to you about and he might have faced child abuse back at school, in his tuition place, or by any of his family members itself. Because we have seen that child abuse also happens by some of the family members also, or the known persons also. So in
Correct,
that
correct.
case, so upon my reading on a lot of articles, what I have gathered is that most of the time when the child musters that guts to go and talk to his parents about it, they either retract or they try to believe that maybe the child is, contemplating about certain facts, or maybe he is not that serious. So I also feel that the teachers and the parents should also be quite educated, I mean, quite learned about these facts of how to deal when a child comes complains to you.
Yeah, so you feel that in the awareness efforts, parents also need to be included.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
So we would now shift to Miss Veenu Sharma. Ma'am, what is your take on this?
Actually, as Sir has mentioned already about the different type of abuses, I would just like to add that when we talk of child abuse in India, it's often a hidden phenomenon actually. Because when it happens in the home or by the family members, it's actually go unreported. And focus with regards to the abuse has generally been in more public domain
Yeah,
as
sorry,
child labor,
keep your
prostitution, marriage.
microphone close to your mouth.
Okay, sorry. Um,
Yes.
Actually, what happened is that generally the focus has been given to the regards abuse, which has been generally on public domains such as we can say is child labor, prostitution, marriage, but intra-family abuse or abuse that take place in the institutions like schools or government homes actually go unreported and get very minimal
Yes.
attention. So this may be due to the structure of the family in the India and the role children have in this structure. In India, the children are most oftenly highly dependent on their parents and elder. They continue to have the submissive and obedient roles towards their parents even after they leave the houses also. So when
Yes.
we are talking about that, we should teach certain things to the child that how they can protect themselves also. There are certain teaching children disciplines also that parents or the educators should take care of, like when we are saying that remember the purpose of discipline you are giving to children, it's not to teach the children socially acceptable ways, rather we have to express, make them at an ease that they can express their desires and drives. You have to guide the child not only for the childhood but to its adulthood also. And the important thing is not whether your child behaves in the next few minutes, but you should pay attention at how your child turns out when he is 5, 10, or 20 years from now.
Absolutely.
So if what you are doing is not working, change it. So best effort is even those that worked in the past may break down. Try to keep sight of your basic principles and always cherish the relationship with your child. Because what happens is children usually hide the things, and this is the first suffering that lies in the fact that when we hesitate to say something, that means we have started accumulated the silent towards that particular things within us. No, that's my
Yeah,
take on
yeah,
this.
correct, correct.
So, Abhijit sir, your take on this topic.
Yes, so when we say child abuse, it's a heinous crime. Child abuse is like purgatory to the future of India, especially in Indian context, if I talk about. But one thing I could not understand, that how can we celebrate child abuse prevention? Usually, to my mind, we celebrate things which are good and make us happy. But what is the need, or actually what is the point in celebrating something which is actually bad for the society? It's a dangerous problem. We should think about it and not celebrate just for 1 month for its prevention.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And usually when I talk about child abuse, people think about sexual abuse,
Hmm.
but is not imparting traditional opinions to child is a child abuse? Is not thrashing down the curiosity of child is child abuse? Isn't it a child abuse? Providing him or her with substandard education across India, is not that the child abuse? These are some very important questions that we should ask to ourselves, not to the government or someone else. A report from MWCD, Ministry of Women and Child Development. There was a study on child abuse in India, and the result were out of 100 child abused people in India, 53% were boys and 47% were girls. So you can see that this sexual abuse or child abuse is not just limited to one gender. It is applicable to all. And that's when we should all think on it, that what exactly is the problem and how we can solve such kind of problems. To my mind, this cannot be done in a jiffy or in one manner. We need some dual core approach for this. One approach is to make the adult of the India aware that what are the nuances related with such kind of things and why they should not do such kind of thing, because at some point of time they were also child in their life. And secondary, as we have started now sex education in country all across these schools, there should also be one education that when and how to raise the voice if some adult abuses with a child. So these two things, dual core approach, engaging childs and giving them knowledge about what you have to do when something happens, and at the same time the prevention measure, that to let the know adults that this is not a good thing, right? You should not commit such kind of things in society, it harms us. So yeah, these kind of measures will actually help us to bring it down. And once again, I don't feel that we should celebrate it. It's a bad thing, it's a shame for us. Yeah.
I completely agree with the Abhijit for this thing also. Actually, in India and in many other countries also, there has been no understanding of the extent, magnitude, and trend of this problem.
Because we have seen that in the United States, if a child feels that he is threatened, even by his family members, friends, or anywhere, he can simply dial 911. But in India, no such mechanism is still prevalent. I mean, child abuse and all the aspects of child abuse are still shrouded in secrecy. Somehow people want to believe that child abuse does not exist in India, but we all see around us itself, and even though we might come forward and we might talk against it, but then somehow or the other we try to negate whatever little things happened around us as well. For instance, a child labor, I believe, is also a part of child abuse.
Yeah, that is true.
Very true.
Government is trying to bring a bill. A bill was brought in 2011 for protection of children against
Yes.
sexual offenses. But what actually happened with that bill is it's on paper. The problem in
Yes.
India is not bringing force and regulations. The problem is in
Because
execution. The problem
because
lies in execution. Still, our society is prominent with child marriages, caste systems, child labor, as you discussed, discrimination among child and gender, trafficking of children. All these issues, we have laws for them, but there is no execution if someone violates it.
Even for corporal punishments, I believe that there is an established law, but we still find in news as well in news that in places like Patna or even in the remotest of corners, schools still practice corporal punishments, and it still goes unreported.
yeah,
I
it's
think what
because
is
actually the people are not that much aware. They are thinking of that if the abuse is there, that is only physically when a person is hampered, that is called as a the child as abuse. But there are also contact and non-contact abuses also. Nowadays, with the advancement of technologies, even there are something which we said ki online abuse has also started. So it's not like that it's only this abuse is only a contact abuse, this is a non-contact abuse also.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think what
mental abuse.
what is important is that first, as a society, we should take this topic out from our closet, bring it out in the open, accept that yes, this is one of the weaknesses of the society, educate both the parties, the abused and the abusers, about its ill effects, and take corrective actions so that results will start appearing slowly but surely.
Yeah, I agree with the
I
point
agree with
that
this.
Dr. Shukla make, that first of all, it is important to realize the fact that it is happening. It is very important that we
Yes.
accept that yes, it is happening, because
Yeah.
it's a life in making. The child
Yes.
who is growing is life in making. If you knock it with hammer, it will either break or become shapeless in the future, which is very
Yes.
dangerous for the thing that we have as a demographic dividend. It could be converted into a demographic debt in future if we
So
don't counter
Yes.
this problem.
In fact, the whole advantage of the demographic dividend would be lost if we don't do
Exactly.
something
to
now.
do something. Yes, of
Yes.
course, we should provide a security message that we give them the child a basic need, a healthy environment, because we should nurture the child with loving and care.
Yeah. Okay.
So has everybody expressed their views?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes, so it's all right. From my side, I have expressed my views.
Okay, so now after having a discussion, we've come through the fact that there is a need to address this problem, and there is a need to create awareness among the people also, and to create an established infrastructure wherein the child feels that once he goes and reports about it, he would be listened to.
Yes.
And safe also, protected.
Yes, and protected also. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for this healthy discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.